It's like we've gone down, instead of looking at the whole signs of the sun, moon, and all this, and using that type of logic, which is valid, we're coming in a little more closely, and we're looking at you're looking closer and more intimately at someone and seeing a personal theme on each thing. You have to take a little bit more time to look at each factor before you even back up and look at all of them. Okay, so we were looking at the pentans. Now we're going to jump. Here's the drawing of the pentans. You can see the signs of the zodiac, the 6 signs within each sign. I call it the pentan turtle, but the feet are the fixed signs of the zodiac: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Head is Aries, tails, Libra. This is it when it's all colored. So it's really saying everything is unique. It's much more unique than we thought. Wow, there's enough. It's like you have the river and the top. You can be swimming on the top of the river and it's really warm, but all of a sudden you go down a little bit and you dive down and it's really cold underneath. You get different currents going on. So these are different currents within each sign of the zodiac, the pentans. And this is, again, the drawing with just as you would just have the symbols around the zodiac. They put in with their colors around the wheel. If you remember back to when we did the 21st century horoscope, I used the colored horoscopes. You'll see that within each sign of the zodiac, on the degrees, I used the degree span, and they each had the color of the pentan within the sign of the zodiac within it. I mean, the color really is such a beautiful teacher. It just expresses these things so scientifically, so naturally. It's the spectrum, it's the colors. And we can observe the behavior of that. Can't just define it, because people can use any of these things in so many different ways, but you can see the themes. And by seeing the themes, you can still help guiding person know when someone can improve the theme, make it work a little bit better, can reach them a little bit better. And that's extra detail. If you had the statistic that you're trying to understand how to reach them, you got the signs, the zodiac helps, but this allows you to get a little more sense about another level for each planet. That's a whole nother level of options. So again, this just shows the same thing with the symbols written out, our pentans. And as I said before, because the zodiac repeats itself, like this is the whole zodiac every 60 degrees. 30 degrees is every 60 degrees, 6 times around the wheel. But so Aries and Taurus has one whole sign of the zodiac within it, and each Taurus and Gemini, Cancer and Virgo. I'm sorry, Taurus, Gemini and Cancer, Leo and Virgo, Libra and Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn. Of course, basically each have the zodiac within them. But inside that side, you see where there's the Aries and Taurus, the first 10 degrees of each sign is going to be 2 signs. They can have the zodiac repeat in there too on this 3rd level of sub-pentans. So you look at it and go, oh wow, this is like almost too much. But it can be very useful. It's important to know that it can go to this depth. There's a 3rd level. So you have the sign of the pentan, you have the sign of the zodiac, you have the pentan specified, making it a bit more unique, and you have the sub-pentan making it much even more specific. And that nerve would only be true if that's the end of the third level there. So the 3 levels. So okay, in this it says the pentans repeat 6 times in a year. The sub-pentans repeat 36 times in a year. They go around once, twice, 3 times in each sign until 36 times the cycle repeats across the year. But it's kind of like we have our signs, the pentans and the sub-pentans. It's much like you have hours, minutes, and seconds, a cycle within a cycle within a cycle. How many people worry if the first minute of the hour or the first hour of the day is the same as the first day of the month? But those patterns, there are patterns. So if you, hours, minutes, seconds, it's so important. They put it on, in the British Empire, they put on HMS on every boat that was there. Really, it's a bit of a joke because they meant it Her Majesty's service, but really hours, minutes, and seconds, they put it right there. You could think of it, another way of looking at this, you could think you have federal politics, you have provincial politics, and you have municipal politics. And each one has its own frequency within the same country. So there's 3 levels of things. It's a normal, there's usually 3 levels of things in most phenomena we look at. So this is another way of looking at this. It's kind of based on the Mayan calendar, where the Mayan calendar, they have circles within circles and how they move around. So here's this would be the circle for the zodiac sign. In this case, this would be light blue. This would be more of a Scorpio theme. Then there would be a pentan that would be green, would be Libra. And there's a 3rd cycle inside for the sub-pentan. So the sub-pentan goes 6 times around this inner circle as the circle goes around 1/6. And each circle's rotating, and really they rotate all the way around, and they go around and they make through all the different combinations. You have 3 zodiacs, one within each other. If you take the stars in the sky, this idea of 6 is a really powerful concept. The first magnitude star is 6 times brighter than the 2nd magnitude star, which is 6 times brighter than the 3rd magnitude star, which is really 36 times less as bright, not as bright as the 1st magnitude. So you have this relationship of the main zodiac, 3 blue circle. It's 360 degrees, but really every 30 degrees would be one sign. And the inside circle, you have the zodiac pentan, which will rotate with the pentan circle. So it really isn't expressed that well. So, but it's how they do it. You do get the visual of the 3 of them working within each other and being different frequencies. Okay, now you see here what this comes down to when you put the, this is the pentans with the sub-pentans. So you have the Aries sign and Taurus sign. You have 30 degrees for Aries, and you see the Aries, Taurus, Gemini. You have the masculine and feminine signs up to Virgo. Then you see the fall and winter signs, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. The masculine signs are put on with the way of going out, and the way of going in is the feminine signs. No, it doesn't work exactly that way. Okay, so, but they alternate in the masculine and feminine, but you can see where the sub-pentans are. So in 10 degrees, in the Aries and Taurus first 10 degrees of Aries, you have the whole zodiac, 12 signs of the zodiac within 10 degrees, which means you have one sign of the zodiac for every 50 minutes of a degree. Not quite a whole degree, but 50 minutes of a degree, just a little less than a degree. And they, so 50 minutes, and the next from 50 minutes to 1 minute 40 seconds, 1 degree, 1 minute 40 seconds, 1 minute 40 seconds of degree to 2 minutes and 30 seconds of degree is the solstice. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to 4 minutes and 20 seconds. 4 minutes and 20 seconds go to three. That's 3. It'll be 350, 4. I'm a bit lost here. 1 second. 5, 2.5. Then it goes to 340. Then it goes to 320, 410. Then it goes to 5 degrees. So it divides up into smaller divisions. So you might not think this is very significant, but boy, if you have a twins chart that's born a few seconds apart from each other, suddenly you're getting down to something just from each planet. There's going to be something unique where it could change. The angle certainly would change, and the moon might change it, but then we'll have the second smaller accentuation on this smallest level. So I'm not going through all of them, but I just want to, I'm going to give you a list with these ones. You look up, you see the sign, you see the pentan, and then you see the inner pentan, but don't just rush to put them all together. Think about the sign, then think, oh, this has the pentan side to it. Give it a little bit of time to reflect. Sleep on it for a day, work with it, just work with the pentan. And then inside the pentan, you say, oh, once you see that, you say, oh, and inside of that, there's this sub-pentan focus. There's Taurus. Okay, I have an example here. So where you really have it, if you have So we have a whole bunch of Aries. They have a whole list. Here's what, about 5, maybe 10, is it 10? 4, 8, 9. Here's 9 Aries in the first 5 degrees of Aries. So they're all Aries with an Aries pentan. Agape, Stasinopoulos, Elvis Stoico, figure skater, Dane Ridger, astrologer, Simone Siglaret, John Elton, Aretha Franklin, Tennessee Williams, Gloria Steinem, and Leonard Nimoy, all Aries. Okay, they're all Aries with an Aries pentan. I'm doing something. It's Mars, Mars. But then you have the sub-pentan and it divides it up. So the Aries is Agape, Stasinopoulos, and I don't really know his writing, so I can't really say too much about how blatant or how impulsive or how straightforward he would be in his writing. We don't have an Aries Taurus. Aries Taurus. We have Aries Gemini, 2 of them. Elvis Stoico, the figure skating champion. So you have the Aries strength and have the coordination and the agility of the Gemini inside of this. And Dane Ridger, Aries Gemini, went into presenting his own special astrology, which really confronted and challenged the old mainstream astrology, brought in humanistic astrology, brought in looking at phases and cycles. He's a big influence in my life and in the type of astrology we presented in RASA. He's a good person to read any of his books. His book, Astrology of Personality, it's hard to find. It was a great overview of astrology. Some of it was more valid than others. At the same time, it was a great beginning exposure to it was one of the books that mixed both the psychological and the philosophical and the spiritual together. If you took Aries with Leo, you have Simone Signoret, the author, and John Elton, Aries, Leo. I'm doing this, ta-da! Watch me. Had his own special take. Aretha Franklin, Tennessee Williams, Gloria Steinem, Leonard Nimoy were all Aries with a Virgo, with a mental, with a somewhat critical side to it, with a thinking side behind it. So when we're saying words that express it, it's enough to see these patterns and these themes are more or less that you can sort of see. You can't measure this, but you can sort of sense, oh, look at that. Yeah, you can see that. Enough that it's worth looking further on it and checking other. Whenever you have a bunch of people have the same, like twins, they might change at this bottom level. Certainly it would for the angles, the IC, the ascendant, MC and descendant. The moon might change. So at this 50 seconds of 1 minute of a degree. Is that right? 5 degrees, yeah, 10 degrees, maybe 50 seconds, yeah, I would do the 50 minutes, sorry, not 50 seconds, 50 minutes of a degree. Yeah. So this is, again, they have the drawings for each of them so you can see them. The Aries with the Aries, Taurus, Gemini, the colors with the signs written in. The Taurus, how they go around. And when there's special aspects, conjunctions, they'll be the same 3 pendants. Oppositions will often have the opposite sign, but they'll have the similar pentan and sub-pentan if it's an exact opposition or a square. The square, no, opposition will do that. So new moons and full moons really have this special inner magic to it, even though they're in the opposite signs.